Welcome to Chasing Winners. Peter O'Neill, David Shortte and Jesse Erenshaw are about to join you to preview the meeting from Mandurah in the Peel tonight. They will also look in depth at the meeting from Cannington tomorrow night. The boys will also be joined by Ryan Levitsky, who will provide his best over the 2 nights of chasing. Let the chase begin.
Very good morning, everyone, and welcome along to Chasing Winners. What an exciting week we have ahead of us. Less than 7 days out from the running of the second ever Sandgroper and the Tab Touch Western Trilogy. Here on TAB Radio, we will have the box draw on Monday morning after the 9 o'clock news for the Sandgroper. Tuesday morning, the Sports Daily team will be heading out to Ascot live with an outside broadcast from 5:30am, and they will have the barrier draw for the Quokka after 8 o'clock. And then Tim Walker will be trackside at the official barrier draw at Gloucester Park for the Nullarbor later in the day on Tuesday. Then right the way through the week, you'll hear it all here on TAB Radio with the Sports Daily Drive with Marty Young and Alex Vlahos, and also the Aftermath, the Tab Radio and social media feeds here on Tab Radio Racing and Sport and Tab Touch Western Trilogy. That is a winning combination. Speaking of winning combinations, we have been a winning combination for a long time. David Shortte and Jesse Erenshaw. How are you, Shorty?
Going beautifully. Thank you, Pete. Good morning to you. Also, Jesse, everyone tuned into Chasing Winners. Lovely to have your company. It is a very exciting time across here in the West. As Pete's alluded to, the Sandgroper, the Nullarbor on Friday night, the Quokka on Saturday. It is going to be absolutely magnificent. And what about Big Energy boys coming out and unofficially breaking the track record there in a trial? This field is absolutely spectacular, and I've spoken to a couple of different people on Melbourne radio throughout the course of the week. They're very excited, obviously, there with the Big V having 7 of the runners in the Sandgroper, but I don't know that we'll see many better races than this in our lifetime here in WA. Explicit $3 on the fix with Tab Touch. Big Energy's coming off that trial to $3.70. Morton at 6, 7 for Trooper Tears, 10 for Fernando Phil and Mapunga Smoky, 12 for Hector Fawley, the get back run on dog, and the local Sunset Frazier at $15. This box draw Monday is going to be crucial, Pete.
It certainly is. Do you get on now, Jesse, on if you like Explicit or Big Energy, or do you wait till the box draw on Monday and we'll have the market up straight after the draw here on TAB Radio?
Take the $15 about Sunset Frazier because it will draw box 1. David Hobby trains, so we know it's going to get box 1.
Box number 1 for Sunset Frazier. I'm not sure if it actually helps Sunset Frazier from box number 1, Shorty. A greyhound that has got a very good record here, but I'm not sure if he's chasing as well as what he was 4 or 5 weeks ago.
Yeah, no, I would agree with that. Some of the recent stuff at Mandurah has been below the dog's best, it's fair to say, but I think box 1 in a big final helps most dogs. It certainly wouldn't be helping Trooper Tears. We certainly saw that Perth Cup final time, but it would love the fairy floss. If it could draw pink, it comes right into this race. I just think it's such an exciting race. There's many, many different scenarios, and drawing inside of Trooper Tears is going to clearly be quite favourable. If it draws wide, though, it comes right into this race. It's trialled very quick. It's run quick time at the track. What I love, and the Shane Train touched on it yesterday, boys, when I spoke to him on Great Greys, the respect shown for the race this time around by the East Coast trainers and connections. Every one of these dogs has been given the opportunity to have a look at WA, get a feel for the track, have zipped around. It gives you a great opportunity to front up on race night, comfortable in your surrounds, and perform somewhere near your best. Just
on that, there were a couple of other trials on Thursday that were red hot, so I assume there might have been some other greyhounds that had a look at Cannington on Thursday, because there was a 29.54 run over the 5:20 and went 18.11 off the back and went 5:35 early, which was length and a half quicker than Big Energy, and there was a really quick post-to-post. So I'm not sure if they are Sandgroper runners, but the track certainly was alight on Thursday morning.
Well, I know Trooper Tears and also Mapunga Smoky trialled on Tuesday, so I doubt it they would have backed up.
I can bring that info to the punters, boys, if you're looking for that trial information. Explicit and Hector Fawley will be trialling over 5:20 after kenneling and before the first race this Saturday. Yeah. Trooper Tears trialled at public trials over 5:20, 5:40, 13:70, 18:29, 29:63 with an 11:34 run home. Mapunga Smoky had a 5:20 box to box, 5:58, 13:92 and 18.53. And last Thursday at public trials, Fernando Field trialled over 5.20, 5.63, 13.90, 18.50, 29.63, 11.13 run home, but it did stumble at box rise. I would suggest there's significant improvement for that dog, and it's not known to run that sort of early split. So it can sharpen up significantly as well. So there's a lot of these dogs, if they get a clear run, are sub 29.50 canines.
And that's the big question, and that's why the box draw is going to be so important on Monday, because if they get a clear run, we've seen so many greyhounds. I've had a greyhound that's gone a quick time at Cannington and can't do it in the field, so it's going to be very, very important. I'm surprised that Big Energy firmed in and hadn't firmed in on its run from Sandown, because we've seen it go under 29 seconds at Sandown. So it wasn't a surprise that he ran a quick time.
Very fast dog. Kel Greeno's done a phenomenal job with Big Energy. This dog's different gravy to what it was when we saw it earlier on in its career. It certainly had above average ability levels at that stage, but Kel's really found the key to this dog. It's going great guns. Morton's in good nick. Trooper Tears. Oh, you just go through the field. It is just dripping with quality. And if they happen to go really quick, boys, this dog, Hector Fawley, possesses one of the most paralysing finishes in Australasian greyhound racing. It has a wonderful finishing burst. Now, it's not going to be getting involved in any of the early tay-to-tay, but I can tell you if they happen to jam up and leave the door ajar for a sweeper, it'll be the dog that will be absolutely rattling at them late.
And I can tell you, Shorty, that his record from box 1, he's had 8 starts. He's won 6 times. From box 8, he's had 8 starts and he's won once. Let's get into this Mandurah program, though. That box draw is coming up 9:05 on Monday morning here live on TAB Radio. You can go to tabradio.com.au if you're not in the state of Western Australia, 12:06 a.m. in Perth. So the scratchings are through nice and early from Carlos Sorella this morning, and in the first St. Bias comes out, and also Glasgow Boys ineligible, so 2 and 4. Good morning to Kirsty Moore. Changed her name last Monday morning. Her husband had a bit of fun with that. In race number 2, take out the reserves, and the rest of the program is free of scratchings. Have you ever done that, Shorty? Called a lady a different name?
I've done all sorts of things in my lifetime, Pete. You wouldn't want to know half of the things that have happened, but all we can do is apologise and move on. And I tell you, she's a great lady, Kirsty Moore. She's, of course, the leader of the cheer squad when it comes to Big Energy as well. So the team at Mintbet, Kirsty and all the owners, of course, being owned here in WA too, that adds a different element to the dog coming back home. They're so excited, and as you would be after seeing that trial.
You'll see on Wednesday.
Okay.
Yep. She'll be dressed in green.
Look out.
All right. Let's go to tonight's program. Find a winner or two so we can build a bank for next Thursday. And don't forget our live broadcast, live from Cannington from 6 p.m. next Thursday evening, straight after Drive, with Alex Vlahos and Riley Morgan. And there'll be no other racing on TAB Radio, just greyhound racing from Cannington. 2 and 4 come out of the first, boys. The favourite is number 5, Cheers Mick at $1.80. Does look hard to beat on recent trials.
Yes, it does. It's got to bring that obviously on race night, which is a new challenge, but certainly with vacants now in 2, 3 and 4 and 6, Cheers Mick's going to get that room in that performance there at Cannington. 22.06, early split of 6.59. You'd think be good enough to hold a spot here in this race. From 7, Kenya Gulfstream, 1 in On the Jacks, and 8 Sapphire Star. 5, 7, 1, 8 for me in the first.
I've gone 1, 7, 5 and an 8 with 1 On the Jacks on top. Has run a stack of placing from his 9 career starts. I think he's overdue from a win. Wasn't a bad run from a wide box last week. Comes into box number 1. I think he's one of the better chances. From number 7, Kenya Gulfstream. For third, 5, Cheers Mick, coming off that decent qualifying trial effort. And for fourth, I'll throw an 8, Sapphire Star. 1, 7, 5 and 8.
Race number 2, the reserves come out. The favourite here is with number 7, Edith Hook at $2.60. Jesse?
I've gone with 1, 2, 8 and 3. 1, Hurry Henry on top. Wasn't a bad runner in a novice when winning in 17.28. Has gone 17.02 in the past. Decent record from box number 1. I think he should hold the lead here and be pretty hard to beat. From the
Dog on his outside in grade grey, right down in class here, racing in grade 4 company, back to a mixed 5-6. She should improve. For third, number 8 in Remember Luigi. Wasn't a bad run at big odds last week. And for fourth, 3 West on Libby, another greyhound dropping back in class. 1, 2, 8 and 3 in race number 2.
I've got a bit of a different take on it. I like Edith Hook in an early race, and I like its overall hit rate, 4 of 12, track and trip with another 4 placings. Still from box number 7, if it can run anywhere close to that 17.10 from 2 back or 16.92 from 5 back, it's a time reference that would see most of these stretching. Number 1, Hurry Henry from the good draw comes right into play. 2, Grey broke 17 seconds itself going back a few starts ago now. And then there's a stack of dogs that can run a place as well. 6, Trendy Miss will be strong late, can hit the frame at a price. Number 4, Sailor Jim, has been stepping quite well and getting chopped out. It'll nick a race at big prices at some point soon. And 8, Remember Luigi. This is one that Jesse threw out last week, and I thought the run was very good. Pretty deep race this for a grade 5-6 affair, 7, 1, 2 and 6.
I've gone almost the same as you in the first 2 races, Shorty. I've gone 7, 1, 2 and 8, Remember Luigi for fourth, but I like Edith Hook as well. In the first, 5, 7, 1, 8, the selections there in race number 1. Race number 3 over the 400 metres, and the favourite here, number 8, West on Smoky at $2.25. Nice winner from a middle draw last week in a country 4 and 5. This is a little bit harder, but I don't mind the fact that he's drawn out wide, and I think he's got a fair bit of upside. So 8 on top for me from number 7, Sunset Callisto. Greyhound has got a losing sequence of 8, but we do know that he's got some speed when he's right on song. For third, number 2, Idle a While, and West on Whistle, 8, 7, 2, 1.
Similar for me, 8 on top, West on Smoky. Made it a special. I just think that 22.16 last week's pretty decent time reference. Prior to that, from a wide draw behind Ichabod Mud, came from back. 22.38 was good. Greyhound that's had the 8 starts, track and trip, 2 wins, 3 seconds. Think there's probably too much of a gap between it and Sunset Callisto. I had the two pretty close together, to be honest, and I think Sunset Callisto in this grade can certainly run a very good race. 1, West on Whistle's got an excellent box 1 record, this chaser. It has had the 14 starts off the red, 5 wins, 5 placings. There was a runner-up performance behind Black Salmon only 5 starts ago where it was very eye-catching late. 4, Ash the Flash, hard to knock its consistency, and Idle a While's going great guns as well. It's only a small field, but high in quality. 8, 7, 1 and 4.
I'll go 8, 7, 4, 2, 8 West on Smoky on top. Good country class winner. Steps up to provincial class company. From 7, Sunset Callisto. Greyhound dropping out of free-for-alls back to graded company. Was a nice second last week. For third, number 4, Ash the Flash. Her form's been really good since coming back to Mandurah. And for fourth, I'll throw in 2, Idle a While. 8, 7, 4 and 2, race 3.
What about in race number 4, Jesse? The favourite here is number 2, Spooky Hook, from $2.10 into $1.95.
Yeah, I thought he would be pretty hard to beat. It was a little bit disappointing last week when missing the start, but before then was a good 22.05 winner from box number 1. A similar draw here. Does have to avoid a little bit Twisted, who tends to use a little bit of the track, but I've got Spooky Hook on top. For second, number 8, Black Salmon. A greyhound dropping out of free-for-all company is always thereabouts when he goes back to graded company. For third, number 5 in Opie Manelli. Nice run last week, really rocketed home late. And for fourth, I'll throw in 4, Solid Tank. Another greyhound dropping in grade 2, 8, 5 and 4.
Team up with Black Salmon here off the pink. The Greyhounds had 6 starts, 3 wins, 2 placings from this draw. Drops from top grade, a little in grade. I like Spooky Hook as a dog, but I don't like this draw. A little bit Twisted, very well known for wanting to get up the track and quickly. I thought they may well find each other in the early stages, and that may well set it up for Black Salmon to get that room to muster around and find itself into a spot. If that is to be the case, I think it'll be pretty hard to beat from there. So 8 on top from 2, Spooky Hook. If it does happen to miss a little bit Twisted, be very hard to beat. 1 little bit Twisted, as I said, not sure how much damage they do to each other, but potentially on the map they could. And 7, Redhead Rider is another dog that's very capable on its night. 8, 2, 1 and 7 for me in the fourth.
I think he's a ridiculous price. I agree with you, Shorty. He's got an excellent record from wide draws. He's got splits that are quicker than all of these. I think he finds the top, and he loves a wide draw, as I mentioned. He's had 6 starts for 3 wins and 2 seconds. I think he's a good thing. From number 2 in Spooky Hook, number 1, Little Bit Twisted, and 4, Solid Tank, 8, 2, 1 and 4. Race number 5 on the program. First leg of our quaddie tonight over the 488 metres. Good betting race, this one. Molfetta Cruise from $3.50 into $3, and Sunset Mirage $3 out to $3.20. Which way are you going here, Shorty?
I'm pretty keen on Molfetta Cruz. Pete, I was very impressed with that performance last week. We know Sunset Frazier is the dog that's going round in the Sandgroper, and Molfetta Cruz just basically dropped on it and kicked away. It was a really, really impressive performance. Dog that clearly loves racing here at the Mandurah circuit. 7 starts track and trip, 3 wins, 3 placings. Its numbers let us know that it's probably a little better served drawn off the track a little more, but I think if Molfetta Cruz can just hold a posse early, that mid-race dash was absolutely stunning last time out, and the last 3 times, 27, 10, 15 and 05. When you're running 27-10, you don't miss out on going home with a gold medal too often over this track and trip. So happy enough to be with it on top. Number 2 from number 1, Sunset Mirage, has got a foolproof record off the red, 2 starts for 2 wins. I thought number 4, Runaway to Mars, is the class runner of the field. We've seen this dog run some wonderful races against high-quality opposition in town. 3 back, it was a winner at Cannington of a free-for-all in 29.65. Obviously, he's been off the track for a little while. I guess that's some small query, but certainly respect the camp enough to have Runaway to Mars back ready to roll here. And if it's anywhere near its top, it'll take some stopping. And 3, Our Benson, is another greyhound that is going really, really well at the moment for Cody Charles. The win 2 back was very good over the shorter trip. 2, 1, 4 and 3.
I'll go 1, 4, 2 and 8 with 1 Sunset Mirage on top just from the box here. 2 starts, 2 wins. Good record over the trip. 6 starts for 2 wins and 3 minus. Don't think he's raced in free-for-all company over the 488 metres, which would be the main query, but I think he's got enough speed to hold out Molfetta Cruz, and more importantly, he does tend to shift off the track, so Molfetta Cruz could be in a bit of trouble early. For second, number 4, Runaway to Mars, good city class form coming up off a spell. For third, number 2, Molfetta Cruz, brilliant win last week. And for fourth, I'll throw in 8, Trevor's Gift. If there's some early hustle and bustle, he might be able to sweep, or she might be able to sweep around the field and cause a bit of an upset there. 1, 4, 2 and 8 in race number 5.
I understand what you're saying about the box draw, but I'm happy to stay with him. His win last week over Sunset Frazier was awesome. He's in sparkling form. Great to see Nick Minichillo with a really good dog in his care, and I think he'll go close to winning. Number 1, Sunset Mirage. It'll be interesting what he does from this inside draw, and he has been missing the kick lately. I know he's got some good early splits, but of late, over the 520s, been missing it a little. For third, number 4, Runaway to Mars, hasn't been seen since December, but a very classy chase. It'll be good to see him back in form. And 3, Our Benson, 2, 1, 4, 3, race number 5. Race number 6 over the 400 metres. The favourite is number 5, Figs McGee at $2.75. Short enough, in my opinion, Shorty. I thought Oreo Apprentice was a good chance in a race like this, and I don't mind the fact that he's drawn wide. It was a good win last start from box number 2, and a couple of starts ago was placed behind Marathon, who's got pretty good form. So 7 on top for me from 5, Figs McGee. 6, 2, Ronnie's is an interesting runner in this race, and number 1, Rosie Brown. Good luck to Ian Bunny, winning on debut with Rosie Brown. 7, 5, 6, 1.
I've gone with the 5 on top here, Figs McGee. Thought that 22.45 time standard in the maiden was good. Runner-up behind Go Get 'Em Cole in 22.52 was a solid performance last time out. Needs to get the start right, though, from the squeeze draw. I thought it was an open race. 7 in Oreo Apprentice. I agree. That performance last week was very good. Number 1, Rosie Brown, was a nice maiden winner. This is harder, but gets a nice draw. 3, Loki Hook, for me, will be the play in the race. I'll be roving it around to run second, third, a little bit of fourth behind the key chances. Doesn't end there. 2, Ronnie's is in the mix, and also All About Garnet has some ability as well. It's a very open second leg of the quaddie. 5, 7, 1 and 3.
I'll go 7, 5, 1 and 8 with 7 Oreo Apprentice. Was with him last week when winning that novice defeated Crossy. Was a good run. Drops back to the 400 metres. I think should be able to lead prominently here and sit on Figs McGee. Might be able to run him down over the concluding stages. Figs McGee got for second. For third, number 1, Rosie Brown. And for fourth, I'll throw an 8, All About Garnet. 7, 5, 1 and 8, race 6.
Race number 7 on the program, $1.45 about Sunset Pepe. Gee, he places his greyhounds well, David Hobby. He's trained 100 winners so far this season, which is a remarkable effort considering we're only in the beginning of April. Sunset Pepe, $1.45, does look put in, take out.
He's on track for 400 for the year at that sort of strike rate, Pete. Yeah. So ominous for the remainder of the trainers out there trying to compete at the moment, but he's got a very good batch of chasers at the minute, and Sunset Pepe is one of them. This dog's been going around in some really good races in town of late and has been going beautifully. Last time we saw the dog at Mandurah 3 back, this dog flew around in 26 and 97, if you don't mind. That was from this very draw. Got good early pace, quick muster. There is a bit of pace around Pepe, but I think if Sunset Pepe nails the start, they're racing for second. So 3 on top. From number 2, Common Speed, going well for Cosy D'Agostino. 1, Kisses for Chaos from the draw, can hit the frame. And 8, West On Fever, getting down the grades a little bit now, but up in distance. 3, 2, 1 and 8.
I will go 3, 7, 1 and 2. 3, Sunset Pepe on top. I think he picks himself. He's significantly faster personal best than the rest of the field. For second, number 7, The Clear. I don't think the form's as bad as what it read. He's some promising times over the trip. He does get back, but he'll run on strongly. For third, number 1, Kisses for Chaos. And for fourth, I'll throw in 2, Common Speed. 3, 7, 1 and 2.
I'll go 3, 1, 2 and 4, Sunset Pepe on top as well in race number 7 to race number 8 on the program. And the favourite is with number 3, Nimbus Stratus at $2. In fact, it's not. Number 4, Sunset Ali's the favourite at $2.15. Number 3's at $2.30. Which way are you going here, Jesse? Are you going with David Hobby to win again or the in-form Nimbus Stratus?
I'm going to go with 4, Sunset Ali on top. Was a good winner over the trip last week from a middle draw. Don't think he minds the middle box. I think he's going to be pretty hard to beat here. Number 3, Nimbo Stratus, worked his way through the grades really nicely. Was pretty disappointing over the 520, just flat out doesn't run the trip. For third, number 5, Apache Havoc, a greyhound coming into this affair with really good novice form. And for fourth, I'll throw in number 8, Go Go Sonic, 4, 3, 5 and 8.
Shazam, 4, 3, 5, 8. Sunset Ali on top, Nimbo Stratus a danger, as is Apache Havoc, 8, Go Go Sonic. Wouldn't be taking crazy short odds about anything in this race, though. The one thing you've got to look at, early splits of 3, 4 and 5 are all electric and they're all right next to each other. Sometimes that does create some nervous energy over the first 150 to 200 metres of a race over the 400-metre trip. So the whole meeting for me, in fact, tonight, there's a number of races where there's 2 or 3 dogs that have got very good early pace and very similar early splits. And for me, that sometimes has just got a little bit of intrigue and mystery about those particular races. This is one of those, 4, 3, 5, 8.
What is the record going into that first corner?
6:08, Renegade Chase, I think.
Okay. Slick, isn't it?
Very, very slick.
Bit quicker than me.
We'd be struggling to keep up, Pete, I think.
Race number 8, have I tipped? 4, 3, 8, 5, Sunset Ali, so very similar to you boys in race number 8. To race number 9, the last tonight, and Esperance Ace has been well supported from $2.25 into $1.90 for Justin Wood and Ryan Hill and the Jockey's Mouth Syndicate.
Again, this is a race where there's pace around Esperance Ace, so we know that Rio Harlow can show very good early pace on its night. All About Courts isn't hopeless early, and I think that they'll potentially be there just testing each other in the early stages. That said, I think Esperance Ace I'm happy enough to have on top as the dog to beat. If it can hold up, should be pretty hard to stop. From number 6, Jumpin' Jules, if they find each other on the inside, this is a dog that could run on and play a part. Number 2, Rio Harlow, racing well for Cozzy, and 3, All About Courts. 1, 6, 2 and 3 for me in the 9th.
I'll go 1, 3, 7 and 6. 1, Esperance Ace on top. Good win over the 300 metres. He'll be a lot fitter for the run after last week's effort. For second, number 3, All About Courts. For third, 7, Min Smiley. And for fourth, I'll throw in 6, Jumping Jules. 1, 3, 7 and 6, race 9.
Good story by Cozzy. Good pickup, wasn't it? Jelly Manelli buying her early before Crumble Manelli actually made his mark. And now she's very valuable.
Oh, you're not kidding. Yeah, and he hasn't taken any chances she's done. He's seen all he needs to see from her on the track, and she's off to be a mum now, and I can't wait to see her pups race in the years to come. More astute work from Cozzy. It's not a surprise at all. He's always been a very clever man with a canine and very wise manoeuvre. I would suggest he will bear the fruit in the years to come.
I'll go 1, 3, 2 and 7 in the last. Speaking of clever, Ryan Levitsky joins us. How are you, Ryan?
Yeah, good.
You're a scholar, weren't you, at Wesley?
No.
Okay.
I hope my wife's listening. She would have liked that.
Okay, your best tonight, please.
I like race 4, number 8, Black Salmon, race 8, number 4, Sunset Ali, and race 9, Esperance Ace, a widey drawn the red, I think will lead all the way. Race 9, number 1, and a quaddie, only 8 combinations. First leg, 3 and 4. I think one of those will get the cabbage across the inside division. Second leg, numbers 1, 5, 6, 8. Third leg standout 3, Sunset Peppy. And fourth leg standout 4, Sunset Ali.
Would the lovely Cassie normally be tuned into Chasing Winners on a Friday morning in between sales?
Quite possibly. Yep.
Good.
Big chance.
Good
morning, Cass.
Yeah, if you are listening in. Hope you're selling plenty down there in Secret Harbour area. What's your best for tomorrow night, please?
Race 5, number 7, West on Nugget. Race 8, number 7, Hopeland. And race 12, number 1, Carter Axelrod. Quaddie, 32 combinations. First leg standout 7, West on Nugget. Second leg 1, 2, 6, 7. Third leg 5, 7. Fourth leg 2, 3, 5, 7.
Anything for Sunday, Monday or Tuesday?
Well, whenever I declare one in a Masters, they generally lose, Pete, but I'm going to do it again. Race 9 on Tuesday night, number 1, Rubidium. Race 9, number 1, Rubidium. An absolute moral next Tuesday at Mandurah.
Okay, moral. Do you part own that, Jesse?
No, Dad trains it though, but it's coming out of free-for-alls into a mixed 4-5 Masters, and I think that's one of the biggest heists in greyhound racing at the moment.
They can do that?
Yeah, well, if it wins though. It's got to win first.
Yeah, it's got to win first. Ryan, have you had a look at the field yet for the Sand Grouper? I'm sure you'll be tuned in on Monday morning, Greyhound Gossip, with the box draw live here on TAB Radio.
I'll be tuned in, Pete, and I'll have a look at it once the box draws come out, because, anything, as soon as something draws 5 and there's a crasher in 6, it doesn't matter what the form's like. So I prefer to just wait until I see the final field.
That's why you're a very clever man. Enjoy the day.
Thanks, Pete.
Ryan Levitsky there with his thoughts on the program. Shorty, your best in a quaddie, please.
Yes, Pete, tonight. And I will say I found it a fairly tricky card. Race 3, number 8, West on Smoky. Race 5, number 2, Molfetta Cruise. Race 7, number 3, Sunset Peppy. I've rolled them up in doubles and trebles and an all-up place. And also quaddie-wise, 1, 2, 4, leg 1. 1, 3, 5, 6, 7, leg 2. 3 on its own, leg 3. Home with 3, 4, 5 and 8. That is $60 for a full unit. $12 will get you 20%.
I've gone race 1, number 1, On the Jacks, race 6, number 7, Oreo Apprentice, and race 9, number 1, Esperance Ace. For a quaddie, go wide the first leg, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 8, 5 and 7 in the second leg, standout 3, Sunset Pepe in the third leg, and we'll go 3, 4, 5 in the final leg there, Pete.
Now, my sources tell me that it was Sunset Frazier that trialled yesterday, that other quick trial.
That 18-11 off the back.
Yeah. Is that a concern, Shorty, that he didn't go as quick as Big Energy or not?
I think the key for Sunset Frazier to win the race is not the overall time, the early split. So for it to win, it needs to run 5:35 or under,
and
roll to the top,
behind,
trouble behind.
That's what it ran.
It's not going to win the race in 29:40. It's going to need.
So it went 5:35, 13:48, 18:11. So off the back, that's putting him a length and a half clear of the chasing pack. You would think 29:54. So I think that would have been close enough to a personal best on his behalf anyway.
Definitely. Overall time, definitely. Yeah, compared to its PB on race night, no doubt. So it's a
good enough trial.
It's
very good.
Absolutely, it's a good trial. But there's going to be 3 or 4 dogs with significantly superior run-home times. If they're somewhere near it,
yep,
they'll be knocking on the door.
They'll be knocking on the door, but one man, as we know, who knows how to get them right on the night, especially when there's $600,000 on offer, is David Hobby.
And it was the same scenario last year.
Yep.
Exactly the same with Crumble. Not necessarily the fastest dog, but early splitter, roll to the top, home track advantage. There's a sense of deja vu.
Even did it from a middle draw as well. He had box 4, I think.
Yeah.
So there you go.
This time round, though, I will say this time round, this is a much better credentialed lineup than what we had last year.
All right, let's turn our attention across to the Saturday night program. We keep digressing, and I think we'll digress a few more times as we lead into that race on Thursday. No market up just yet for the first. It's over the 380 metres. Michael Johnson's team's going very well at the moment. This greyhound's been knocking on the door, as you just knocked then, Shorty, and I think maybe on Saturday night is the night for her to actually, for that door to open up. She has won from the inside draw in 22 seconds. She's got a 21.84. I'm putting her on top of number 5, Cherry Blue. Really nice win. 2 starts back from a wide draw over Midnight Cooner. Number 2, Security Guards chasing well and first up over this trip. And number 3, Whole Shot, another one of the Corey White chasers with ability. 1523.
1523. 2 and 3 for Pete. I'll go 5, 1, 4 and 2 here in the first. Stick with Cherry Blue to get the job done. Thought it was an excellent run from this draw last week. She paid in full's been going well for Pete Glennie, and this dog did everything it could to stick with it. In the end, beaten only 2 lengths. The overall time, 20 at 189, very good. The week prior from a wide draw was a winner in 21.87. Going really nicely at the moment. Quite a number of the Seneca dogs here in WA racing very well at the moment, and Cherry Blue's certainly one of those. I think it'll work its way through the classes quite quickly. 5 on top from number 1, Midnight Cooner, who from the inside draw comes right into play here. 2 starts from the draw for a win and a placing. Did run that 22 flat going back 6 starts ago from the draw, and since then has been placed basically last 4 in a row going really well. So it's the danger. 4 all grunt for Corey and 2 security guard for Corey. So he goes into this race with a pretty strong hand. 5, 1, 4, 2.
I'll go 1, 5, 6, 4, 1 Midnight Cooner on top just from the box draw. For second, 5 Cherry Blue. For third, 6 Ruthless Tiger's been running some nice races at Mandurah, will be really strong to the line. And for fourth, I'll throw in 4 all grunt. 1, 5, 6, 4, race 1.
Race number 2 on the program, novice over the 520 metres. Bezecchi, the $1.90 favourite, a greyhound who was most impressive last week. The field size this week is larger, which will be interesting. Apple Crumble was very slick out of the boxes last week. Which way are you going here, Shorty?
6 on top, Bezecchi, I thought was a very impressive performance to win last week. So rinse and repeat would see it very hard to beat. From number 7, Apple Crumble, who's another that's getting close to another victory. 2, Starlight Ariel, who will be very strong at the back end of proceedings. Just comes down to how much of a start that it does spot them within the run. And I'll throw in number 8, Zinc, back to the 500 off some 600 form. Should be nice and strong to the line. 6, 7, 2, 8.
I'll go 6, 8, 7 and 2. 6 Bezecchi on top. This is a novice that actually lacks a fair bit of speed, which is something we haven't seen before. So I think Apple Crumble should roll to the lead here, Pete. But Bezecchi, I think, might run you down again like last week. For second, 8 Zinc. Jumped on the arm his last 2 over the 600. That will do him a lot of good for confidence. For third, 7 Apple Crumble. And for fourth, I'll throw in at 2 Starlight Ariel. 6, 8, 7 and 2.
I love Paul Stewart, always have, and as a trainer, but when you're up against him, the love sort of disappears just for a few minutes while I'm calling. But anyway, he'll win, Paul, with either Bezecchi or Starlight Ariel. I think Bezecchi's got a lot of ability and can improve further. So 6 on top from number 2, Starlight Ariel. Number 7, Apple Crumble, hopefully finds the front. And 1, Maxwell Smart, 6, 2, 7, 1 in race number 2. Race number 3, free for all over the 520 metres. The favourite here in an open betting market is number 6, Maximum Cooner at $3.50, Jesse.
That's the way I've gone. His last 2 a little bit disappointing, but they have been from awkward boxes where he's sort of jumped and gotten squeezed at the start. But Maximum Cooner on top. We know how good he is in the past. He's gone 29.70. He's won a constellation of the Perth Cup. So he's got open class form. For second, number 4, Go Seek Katoni, running really well of late. For third, number 2, in Hinto. And for fourth, I'll throw in 1, Nangar Chief, 6, 4, 2 and 1 in race number 3.
Good race, very good race. I've gone 1, 2, 6 and 5 each way with number 1 on spec here, Nangar Chief. This dog hasn't had much luck with box draws of late, and can go back to that run, that 34.60 performance behind West on Booney. Since then's had no luck, but that showed us the dog's going well. Since trialled okay after getting knocked around last time out, but finally draws a box, and a small spec here for Nangar Chief. From 2, Hinto. Look, the dogs obviously was a little below par. We didn't get a chance to see it around Perth Cup time, and that was so out of character because Hinto, for such a long period of time, had been close to the most consistent performer in WA chasing. Nice to see the dog back at the track, and no surprise to see it get back up and firing quite quickly. 6, Maximum Cooner. The Chili Man's on fire at the moment. No surprise if it can get across to give plenty of cheek. And 5, Bungee Man, back to the 500 off a 600-metre run that was pretty good last week. Doesn't end there. I thought you could make a case for almost the entire field here. 1, 2, 6, 5.
He was scratched on the morning of the heats of the Perth Cup when he injured himself in his kennel. Hinto, I think he'll strip fitter from that run. First up behind Molfetta Cruz and Sunset Frazier. So Hinto on top. I think I like him from an inside draw. From number 8, Solidified. It was a good win last start. I know that this is a step up in class, but he's raced in this class before consistently. Number 6, Maximum Kuna. 1, Nengar Chief. 2861 in race number 3. Race number 4, first heat of the Miata. Blessed Doll's an early scratching. Penny Magic's currently $2.90 equal favourite with Argyle Queen. What are your thoughts on Sage Stanil stepping up over the distance?
Well, I can see what Cody's trying to do. Obviously, find the arm and just get some confidence. And we know Sage Stanil, if it can get the arm, is a very talented and capable type. So I don't blame him for trying different things. I think he knows that he's got a very talented greyhound, but at the moment she's not turning up and showing him that. So I'd be trying all sorts of tricks as well, because if you can unlock the key to the motor, then there may well still be some good stuff left there for Sage Stanil. But I need to see it first personally. I'm going to go with number 5, Penny Magic on top. Gee, another from the Chili Man team that's just going great guns at the minute. From number 8, Argyle Queen. Really impressive win last week for Corey White. I thought that was super and a career best over the trip. If it can get across Penny Magic early and roll to the top again, would take some running down. Number 2 in Jamie Keeping continues to race really, really well. And I'll round it out with number 1, just on spec Sage Stanil. If it happens to find the front, it may well run them along. But I don't know whether it can run the trip. We'll find out on Saturday night if it spears to the top. 5, 8, 2, 1.
I'll go 8, 5, 4 and 1, 8. Argyle Queen on top was a really good win last week in City Class Company. For second, number 5, Penny Magic, running really well in Free For All Company. For third, number 4 in Zylan Bale. And for fourth, I'll throw in 1, Sage Stanil. 8, 5, 4 and 1, race 4.
Argyle Queen on top for me as well. That was a really impressive win last week. The vacant box on her inside, I think it actually helps her get across easier. 5, Penny Magic might hold her out early, but I think that she's going to be too strong, Argyle Queen. It was a really slick run last week. For third, number 2, Jamie Keeping, who's chasing very well, and 1, Sage Stanil. 8, 5, 2 and 1 in race number 4. Race 5, second heat of the Miata, and West on Nuggets, the $1.90 favourite. This race was won by Speed Freak last year, and of course Miata won this race twice when it was called the Distance Gift. Interesting market about West on Nugget. Greyhound has gone 41.84, 41.80, and the bookmaker's still letting you on at $1.90, Shorty.
It's a great price, West on Nugget. I think this dog's airborne. It's our number 1 stayer at the moment, the way it's been going of late. And last week, 41.80. The week prior, 41.84. There was a pretty decent stretch where a lot of dogs were struggling to break 42, but West on Nuggets in the zone right now, loves a wide draw. Just thought it was the best bet on the program, and nearly black odds. It's in all of my multis. I think it's the best bet on the card. Wasn't super keen Mandurah Friday night. Haven't been keen the first 4 races Saturday Cannington. From this point onwards, punters, release the handbrake and let's get amongst it, because the next 6 to 8 races, this is where I am absolutely getting heavily involved, and West on Nugget is the first of them. I think it's the best bet of the weekend. I think it'll be winning. From greyhound number 4, Chloe Ant, I thought it was a disappointing performance last time out. I'm including number 1, Care Factor. It's up to the 700 here, and we have seen the dog racing pretty well over the 6. Got enormous respect for the kennel. No surprise to see it run well, and definitely want to be including number 3, Stevie Manelli. He might actually be a really nice dog to sort of sneak in there for 3rd and 4th as a banker, with 7 winning to get some multiple units of trifectas and first 4s. 7 though, best bet of the weekend, West on Nugget from 4, 1 and 3.
7, 1, 2 and 5 for me. 7, West on Nugget. He's won his last 4 starts. I think he'll be 5, and he'll probably take out the final next week. For second, number 1, Care Factor. I thought the run was full of merit from a wide draw last week, first up over the 700. For third, number 2, Speed Freak, another one who was a nice run last week behind Argyle Queen. And for fourth, I'll throw in 5, 90 Mile Rose. First up over the trip, she could run a cheeky race. 7, 1, 2 and 5, race 5.
I agree with West on Nuggets. Should be very, very hard to beat. Number 4, Chloe Ant, I'm going to be putting in for second, a greyhound with a consistent record over the trip. 2, Speed Freak, who won this race last year. 3, Stevie Manelli. 7, 4, 2 and 3. Race 6 over the 520 metres. The favourite, number 6, West on Boomer, currently at 320 ahead of Sunset Comanche, 340. So from a feature final, back into a grade 5 for West on Boomer, who's won at his last 2, Jesse.
Yeah, and he's won from box number 6 his last 2 as well. So it's rinse and repeat. I would have thought West on Boomer rolls to the top could be pretty hard to beat coming out of that open class feature. For second, number 2, Sunset Comanche, a greyhound who will be charging home late. He was a nice run last week at Manja before then put some good efforts on the board at Cannington over the 5:20. For third, number 7 in Madigan, and for fourth I'll throw in 3 Andre Bell off some decent 600 metre form, 6, 2, 7 and 3.
Shazamo, 6 on top. West on Boomer just needs to get out like it did last week, and I don't think there's anything there that will hold it on the inside division early doors, so no problems there. Madigan does hold its line or indeed stay at wideish, so West on Boomer gets a lovely map early. From 2, Sunset Comanche, this dog will be rattling hard home late. 7, Madigan, like it from a wide draw. It can certainly be there filling out the placings. And then I didn't have a lot between 3, Andre Bale, who will be nice and strong late. 1, Eugenius, and 5, Spider Venom. Throw them all in for your trifectas and first 4, Skinny N. But for me, 6, 2, 7, 3.
6, 2, 1 and 7 for me. So West on Boomer, I agree. He's a very smart greyhound that's got that early speed. Number 2, Sunset Comanche for second. Eugenius is well drawn, and 7, Madigan, 6, 2, 1, 7. Race 7 over the 600 metres. The favourite is number 5, Sneaky Emoji, at $1.55. A greyhound who led over the 600 went 34.67 when being run down by West on Nugget, going back only 3 starts ago. He probably deserves to be this price, Shorty. Not sure if you'll agree with me, but I'll put him on top of number 7, Window Shopper, who's been impressive, winning at his last 2. For third, number 6, Coulter Bale, and number 1, Wooden Hands. It's got a good record over the trip, just needs to improve a little bit. 5, 7, 6, 1.
Good race. 5, Sneaky Emoji has to go on top off that performance going back 3 starts ago, where West on Nugget had to pull out a bit to run it down late. 5 on top from 7. Window Shopper likes a bit of room to operate. This particular canine coming off a nice win last time out. Number 4, Soul Survivor. I popped this into the black book off that last run. It was behind Mustang Timmy, was beaten only a quarter of a length. Of course, Mustang Timmy raced really well through that Perth Cup series, and Soul Survivor is a dog that we had seen predominantly racing in lower grade style of races. So it's one for me that sort of stood out, but it's well recognised in the market as the $6.50 chance. And greyhound number 2, Lady Dior, is certainly capable. Out to this distance looks ideal. 5, 7, 4 and 2. Jesse?
I've gone 5, 7, 6 and 2. 5, Sneaky Emoji on top. Pretty unlucky to get run down in 34.60 a couple of weeks ago. For second, number 7 in Window Shopper. Good win in novice class company at his last 2. For third, number 6, Coulter Bale, and for fourth, I'll throw in 2, Lady Dior, who's run a fair few placings over the trip from just her 7 starts. 5, 7, 6 and 2, race 7.
No market up with Tab Touch at the moment for race number 8 over the 380 metres. Sassy Snickers has been chasing very well over this distance with 6 wins from 9 starts, Shorty.
Absolutely, and when Sassy Snickers gets it right, nothing in the state to this point can keep up, because it's got that record, 21.47. So I'll go with the Schnickers to get the job done off box number 3. From number 7, Hopeland, who is certainly very capable on its night. I thought that number 5, Outlaw McGraw, if it can sort of stay out of early trouble, is very capable of playing a part. And number 2, Tommy Fumble. 3, 7, 5 and 2 in race number 8.
Same numbers, slightly different order. 3, 5, 7, 2, 3 in Sassy Snickers on top. Track record holder, 9 starts for 6 wins over the trip. Forget the run last week, missed the start, got into a fair bit of trouble. For second, number 5, Outlaw McGraw was a good country class winner in 21.80. Has run 21.69 in the past. For third, 7, Hopeland, coming off some decent 300-metre form. And for fourth, I will throw into Tommy Fumble. 3, 5, 7 and 2, race 8.
3, 5, 2, 7. You've covered the form well in the 8th event on the program. Race 9's a maiden over the 520 metres. No market up yet as well. A greyhound who I thought was a good run last start behind Toad was New Hope, and I thought would be very hard to beat here in the 9th event on the program. A little bit concerned about the wide draw, but he's only had a few starts and it's only a small field. Defender I see as the hardest to beat. He's a nicely bred type who can improve sharply. He'd been trialling well before his first up run where he found trouble. Number 4, Connie Keepings, had a few opportunities, and 1, Yunder Up Sun. Nicely drawn. Trials have been okay. I'm not sure where he positions up early. 8-7-4-1.
8-7-4-1 for Pete, going the same canine on top. New Hope for Cozzy. From number 4, Connie Keepings, another that's not far away from breaking through for that maiden success. 7, Defender. A lot of respect for the Robertsons and their young stock when they bring them through. And number 5 in Racing Barbie, 8-4-7-5.
I will go 4, 8, 5 and 7. I'll give Connie Keeping another go. Racing well in maiden class company. She probably finds the lead here in a race that lacks a bit of early speed. She might be off and gone while some of these others are chasing. For second, 8, New Hope was a good second last week behind Toad, who took out that maiden final. For third, number 5 in Racing Barbie. And for fourth, I'll throw in at 7, Defender. 4, 8, 5 and 7, race 9.
Let's go to race number 10. Tim and Lane's the $1.60 favourite. Bookmakers obviously caught with that much improved effort. 34.67 last start at his 6th attempt over the distance.
Yeah, this is where we go bingo, bango, bongo to round out the program. Tim on Lane will be getting the cash here. Dog that likes a wide draw, coming off that 34.67. Small field. All play to the strengths of Tim on Lane. It will be swallowing them up over the concluding stages. From 2, Pepper Grinder, 8, Sandy Basser, 1, Moose Banner, 6, 2, 8, 1.
I've gone 6, 2, 8 and 4. 6, Tim on Lane just picks himself off last week's run. The more interesting thing is who's going to lead. It's a race full of slow beginners. For second, number 2, Pepper Grinder. Nice effort last week behind Tim on Lane. For third, 8, Sandy Basser. And for fourth, I'll throw in 4, Hippie Trail. 6, 2, 8 and 4 in race 10.
Exactly the same way for me as well, Jesse. 6, 2, 8 and 4. Were you surprised that he improved his time by so much, Shorty, last start?
Not really, no. This dog's shown a bit, I think, to this point. And we remember the mother, Starbook. She was an absolute rocket, particularly when she drew off the track. She's thrown those traits onto Tim on Lane. I think there's always been a bit there. It's just sometimes these dogs that get over a journey, they just take a little while to work it all out on race night. I think Tim on Lane has now, and this setup, wide draw, small field, it's just laid on.
Just on last week's run, I think having a tearaway leader, spread out the field, helps those run-on dogs get out and get into clear air and run some quick times.
It frees up space.
Absolutely.
The progeny are a little bit like his trainer. Takes a little while to work things out.
Oh, good morning, Jamie.
And wide, very wide runner.
And a wide runner as well. Yeah. Actually rang me for the first time the other day. Remember that I've got a phone. Race 11 over the 520 metres. He should be going back-to-back here, shouldn't he, Jamie, with Burglemere, the greyhound who's currently at $2?
Well, the first leg was bingo. This is the bongo with Burglemere. Wisebarrow again drawn outside of it's the key, and I think Burglemere will get the room required to get down to the fence, and from there, if it runs anywhere near what it did last week, 29.71, they're going to have their work cut out keeping up with Burglemere. It'll be winning. 7, Wisebarrow will run cover for it, staying wide on the track. 8, West on Astro, and 2, Victory Road, 4, 7, 8, 2.
Shazam, 4, 7, 8 and 2 for me. Burglemere on top. Ran the best in the time last week on the City Class meeting. I think should be pretty hard to beat. From 7, Wisebarrow. For third, 8, West on Astro. Running some nice races at Mandurah. And for fourth, I'll throw into Victory Road, 4, 7, 8 and 2.
Yeah, I've gone exactly the same way as well. Very impressive win by Burglemere last start. He's already won 6 of 16 over this distance, and he's got a bright future. 7, Wisebarrow, I've got a high opinion of her as well. She's just come up against a smart one. 8, West on Astro, and number 2, Victory Road, 4, 7, 8 and 2. And then to the last, this is over the 600 metres, and in the last event on the program, Tab Touch has the market and favourite as Carter Axelrod, Jesse, at $2.10.
I thought that was very generous odds for a greyhound that's gone 34.57 last week. The week before that, broke the 650-metre track record at Mandurah, so he's racing in outstanding fashion. 5 starts over the trip for 3 wins and 2 minors. Comes up with box 1 where he's got a great record. 3 wins from 6 starts. I think he's going to be pretty hard to beat. From 2, Pudding Manelli. Looking forward to seeing this greyhound stretch out to the 600 metres, running some nice races. Finished a good third in the Lou Dorsa after being a bit beaten for pace during the middle stages. He came again late. For third, number 6, Harley Manelli, greyhound who's proven over this in this trip, in this class. And for fourth, I'll throw in number 4, Storm Alert, 1, 2, 6 and 4.
1, 2, 6 and 4 for Jesse. This is the bongo. 1 on top, Carter Axelrod. How can you knock its last 2 starts? As Jesse alluded to, track record at Mandurah last week brought that to this particular track and trip. 34.57's moving along, and it comes up with the cherry here. Carter Axelrod, yes please. From the 2, Pudding Manelli having its first look here over the 600. Recent form's been good. 6, Harley Manelli, got a lot of respect for this dog. Hayley Atkins has done a super job with it. I think it'll be hitting the frame again. And 4, Storm Alert, 1, 2, 6 and 4.
Yes, Carter Axelrod at start number 50 on top for me to make it 3 in a row. He's chasing very well. I think the reason we're getting the $2.10 because there's a very good field here. Pudding Manelli, as you mentioned, Jesse, looking forward to seeing him over the 600. He's beautifully bred. Flake Manelli, that line has been able to stay, and this greyhound's run some really good races behind West on Boomer recently. For third, number 4, Storm Alert, another greyhound who's won 3 times over the trip, and 6, Harley Manelli's got a good record as well, as does Yamasaki Bell. I think it's a really classy field to wrap it up on Saturday night, so I'll go 1, 2, 4 and 6. Your best, Jesse, and a quaddie, please.
Race 1, number 1, Midnight Cooner. Race 7, number 7, West on Nugget. And race 12, number 1, Carter Axelrod at my 3 plays. For a quaddie, it's pretty skinny. We'll go 1 the first leg, 2 and 6 the second leg, Standout 5 the third leg, and 2, 3 and 5 in the final leg. What about yourself there, Shorty?
I really like this card. So, the back half, we just rip into it, punters. There's 4 dogs in particular I think will just be winning. Race 5, number 7, West on Nugget. Race 10, number 6, Tim on Lane. Race 11, number 4, Burglemere. Race 12, number 1, Carter Axelrod. $12.76 that multi on the fixed odds with Tab Touch. You can take doubles, trebles and the 4-pack. Beautiful shopping. Quaddie-wise, first leg there for me, 1 out with number 7. Second leg, I'll go a little bit wider here and take numbers 2, 3, 6 and 7. So 2, 3, 6 and 7 in that second leg. On to the third leg, race number 7. And here we'll roll with just numbers 4, 5 and 7. And in that final leg on Saturday night, rolling with numbers 3, 5 and 7. So 3, 5 and 7 the final leg. That is $36 for a full unit. $18 will get you 50% if you're playing that quaddie option on Saturday night, Pete.
And you'll be joining me on Monday morning, Shorty, back on Greyhound Gossip, taking a look straight after the box draw for the all-important Sandgroper.
Indeed, yeah. Very much looking forward to having a chat with you, Pete. It's been the talk of the town when it comes to this particular box draw and the ramifications of different dogs drawing in different spots. So I'll be right here on the spot and passing on the news to the listeners as it happens right here on TAB Radio.
And of course, Shorty be with us along with Leah Ernest on Thursday night out at Cannington. We'll be able to talk to all of the participants, get to know, as you have done recently, Shorty, get to know a little bit about some of the slot holders that'll be out there. We might have to get them early before they start getting on...
some of the sponsors' products.
Yeah. I was wondering how I was going to word that. But yeah, it's going to be good. And we did it for the Perth Cup where there was no other racing across the channels, so we don't have any competition. And we'll be able to go live from 6 o'clock. First race, I think, is going to be around about 10 to 7. So we'll have that lead up to the big night of chasing, and it's going to be a huge night. So looking forward to it.
Yeah, can't wait for it. And in advance, a big thanks to everybody for taking the time to come and join us. It's another great opportunity to showcase our industry, so please do, if you're invited, come along and have a chat to us and come prepared with some good stories and some positive outlook to pass on to the people that are tuned in about what the greyhounds mean to you and what a night like this means for the sport. Yep,
and on Monday morning, of course, the Tab Touch Western Trilogy starts right here on TAB Radio live at 9 o'clock. We'll have the Greyhound Gossip with the box draw for the Sandgroper. Tuesday morning, we go out with the Sports Daily team live from Ascot from 5:30 with an outside broadcast from Ascot, and that will include the Quokka barrier draw just after 8 a.m. Then Tim Walker will be live at Gloucester Park with the barrier draw for the Nullarbor, which will bring you here on TAB Radio as well. And then, as we just mentioned, our live broadcast from Cannington on Thursday night from 6 p.m, from 5 p.m, live outside broadcast from Gloucester Park with the Nullarbor, and then from Saturday, 8 o'clock, 8 a.m. with our live outside broadcast from Ascot with the Quokka. It's going to be a big week, Shorty. Hopefully you and I can keep up. I think we're lucky that the Sandgroper is nice and early, but we can really let our hair down on Thursday and Friday.
What I've got left of it, Pete, I'll give it a good run, that is for sure and certain. But yeah, a very, very exciting time. Good luck to all the slot holders and to all the punters tuned in. Get trackside to any of the 3 or all of the 3 if you've got the time, because events like this are pretty rare in today's racing world, and when you get the best in the country coming to race in your own backyard, it's well and truly worthwhile getting out there to have a look at it.
Well, just on that point, Simon Miller was speaking to me during the week, and he is excited to go out to Cannington. He hasn't been out there for a while.
Awesome.
But he is being attracted because of the fact of what we've been able to discuss and how good this field's going to be.
We might be able to join us on the live broadcast, Pete.
I reckon we can get
Give
him
us
on.
the latest on Amelia's Jewel heading towards the Quokka.
Yeah, Layers Dad obviously owns Amelia's Jewel. And
Absolutely.
and she's running for Tab Touch.
Well, he'll want to be staying in Sweden in that camp, surely.
I think he might do. All right, that is Chasing Winners for this Friday morning. Hopefully we found you a winner or two. Make sure you tuned in Monday morning.
What's gambling really costing you? For free and confidential support, visit gamblinghelpline.org.au.